Alright, so if you watch this video, you made it to Season 4, Great League's End, and now you're getting ready for Ultra Premiere. So this is just kind of a summary of like how Season 4 Great League was on my perspective. Me personally, I had a really great season. That's my team up there, the 588 rating, the most powerful team on PvPoke, statistically and scientifically proven to be the strongest and best team that will net you the most net average of wins I have created. And it was always on my bucket list, but it happened and I was just super happy. Like, as a team builder, I already know I'm good at, like, as a battler, I'm really good, and my mechanics are great. Knowledge is the only thing I need to improve on, but as far as my team building skills, I've always been a great team builder, but I've never been the best team builder at one point, and I proved now that I am capable of being one of the best team builders in the land for Go Battle League, specifically Great League, actually just across the board. So this is a huge accomplishment for me. So just some of the patterns I've noticed using this team and the reason why I beat so many patterns. You have an answer against, you see the Pokemon on the background, you have an answer against Galvantula, you have an answer against Swampert, and you have an answer against Flyers. You even beat things like Sableye, and you beat Pancake, so Galarian Stunfisk in the lead as well. As you see on this on the list you see right here, I beat all those teams except the Bastiodon and the Shadow Vic as far as the league goes, as far as the league goes. My league beats all of those leads, so it's pretty awesome to see my team beat popular lines, including BBML, so it's been really awesome. But if you've noticed yourself, those teams are teams you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot of Skarmory. The Swampert core ran rampant during Season 4 Great League. Swamp Skarmory is an incredibly powerful core, very popular in draft. If you do Sylph, you know what drafts are. And Galvantula's lunge increase, the lunge buff actually gave it so much play. As you see here, it's featured in 3 of the top 10 lines, which makes sense because there's so much play you can do with lunge. With that debuff, you can create a lot of play scenarios that you normally wouldn't have if you weren't able to debuff, or even if you had like just the attack power of lunge in general. Sableye served as an incredibly powerful safe switch. You don't see it here, but in a lot of content creator lines, the Purified Sableye in particular, with its return ability, gave it so much play against a lot of the meta. So Sableye safe switch became super popular too. In summary, Season 4 Great League was dominated by a whole bunch of random things. In the last season, Season 3 Great League was really dominated by pretty much like what you see here. Mudboys, Flyers, Galarian Stunfisk took a lot. Like, Galarian Stunfisk was everywhere. It still is everywhere now, but like you definitely saw a shift to counter in the meta to counter Galvantula as well as the like flyer leads in general. Like, it was just all chaotic. But if you saw the patterns, definitely Flyers, Swampert, Galvantula. And obviously you have the infamous Grassful team below as well. Now here's the overview analysis of just how Great League was as far as PvPoke wise. Now overall, nothing really changed much with the exception of Galvantula overall. If you look at Galvantula's rating, Galvantula overall was at number 39. It was the strongest as a lead. That's why you saw so many teams dominate on the rankings for PvPoke. Why Galvantula is such a great lead? That's because you could create so many plays, like I said, with Galvantula in the lead and using lunge, especially if you win the lead. Now, obviously, you could still have key losses. What a lot of trainers did, including me, was use Galarian Stunfisk to wall Galvantula. So, using G Stunfisk, I can wall Galvantulas thrown into me that were used as essentially safe switches, but not really safe switches, but if you're trying to sack them or if they are safe switches, Galarian Stunfisk walls them. Also, Swampert was another big reason why you saw the rise in Mudboys. Swampert convincingly beats Galvantula, so does Stunfisk. So those were very difficult to come back from. And also with Flyer leads and Bastiodon, it was just a lot of work. as far as if you use Galvantula, but it's incredibly powerful. A lot of teams were successful with it just because Galvantula with Lunge. Lunge was just that strong. In hindsight, if I take you to why Lunge is like so good, Volt Switch on its own generates 16 energy a shot, as you see here. So 4-turn move, so it's equivalent to Confusion. Confusion's also 4-turn move. However, you generate 4 more energy than Confusion. In other words, it's the most energy generating 4-turn move in the game. That's why it's so good. Now, if you look at Lunge, if you go to charge moves and you go to Lunge, Lunge costs 45 energy, and so does Discharge, two of its really hard-hitting moves. As you see, you do 65 damage with 45 energy with Discharge, and with Lunge, you do 60. If you give it Stab with Galvantula, it does a lot of damage. So Lunge combinations took a lot of people, it's so strong. 3 Volt Switches, 12 turns to get to a Lunge, but it's with Galvantula having such high attack, it was just so powerful. So Galvantula really shook up this meta and really didn't really. I wouldn't say it really dominated the meta super heavily, but like it definitely was there. Now, what really kind of stayed in the meta and was just really strong, kind of pissed you off and a lot of other people off, was Azumarill. Azumarill was still insanely powerful. Since Go Battle League came out, actually just overall for PvP, Azumarill has always been extremely powerful. It's not downright broken because there's a lot of things that check it, as you see here. Abomasnow, Hypno, Galvantula, Tropius, Cresselia. There are a lot of things that check Azumarill. It's not overpowered. It just has so much utility and flexibility that a lot of people don't like it. The reality is, Azumarill is beatable. It's just really hated because it's, like I said, it's super flexible. As a lead and a closer, it's incredibly powerful, and it's still a great save switch. So even though, yeah, it's still a great save switch. So that's why Azumarill dominates. Also, Deoxys D, I have happily helped popularize Psycho Boost. I can't say everyone plays it as well as I do, but Psycho Boost is definitely, as a result of like my experimentations and just my revolutions, I think I have definitely helped popularize Psycho Boost usage. But with Psycho Boost, like Deoxys D, overall, like extremely powerful. Definitely really, like across the board, always great. You play Psycho Boost well, like I'll show you after with my team with a little bit of shoutcast. I'll show you how to triple Psycho Boost. It's insanely powerful, and it's definitely, in my opinion, one of the best save switches, and definitely rocked the meta for me. Shadow Machamp has always been was extremely oppressive. Like you probably didn't see many of them in the lead, but you still definitely saw fighter leads, mostly because of Shadow Champ. Shadow Champ is just so strong. If you see, it beats Skarmory and Altaria in the 1 shield. It literally beats and it can beat Azumarill into 2 shield. It's extremely powerful. If your Azu shields both cross chops, then it dies. Actually, you could put a lot of pressure with it. There's so many plays with Machamp. It's so strong. You didn't see so many Mantines. Mantines is really good, but like you didn't see so many of them. With Mantine, you didn't see a lot, but with Deoxys defense, you definitely saw a lot of. You probably saw a lot of DDs in the lead. You also saw Abomasnow and Swamperts. These Mons were extremely powerful. You also started seeing a rise in Venusaur. Venusaur is just really freaking good. Really insanely powerful and really, really good. So like, well, just because if you get fighter leads and at the same time, it has a lot of utility. With the poison grass typing, you take out Azumarill, you take out Stunfisk, you can take out Bastiodon, you even beat Umbreons, and of course Mudboys die. So Venusaur was really good too. But that was pretty much it. In the closer scenario, no, the closer and switch didn't change much at all. As far as the switch, Mew was still a great lead. A lot of traders were actually running Flame Charge with it, so they made a lot of fun. So Flame Charge was definitely, you saw Flame Charge Mew running around like no tomorrow. And it was still really good because you don't really need Surf because with Flame Charge, you check Stunfisk and Skarmory. So you didn't really need it. And with Alolan Marowak, you definitely saw, with Alolan Marowak, you could beat Alolan Marowak with Surf, but Alolan Marowak, you can kind of just Wild Charge it anyways. But Flame Charge Mew with Shadow Claw just did so much damage, and I definitely saw a lot of it in this meta. As far as the closers go, Azumarill, Reggie Steele, very powerful, very strong. You saw pancakes everywhere, and that's just like how the meta really like shaped out to be as far as like Azumarill and just how powerful like closers were. Azumarill was everywhere. Reggie Steele gained prominence as well. Reggie Steele's still good, even though it got nerfed. It's still good. Yeah, it's still good even though it got nerfed, which is pretty crazy considering like how they. Yeah, it's still really good. Shadow Electivire and Shadow Raikou definitely playable this meta. You don't see a lot of them though, just because they're really expensive. So you didn't really see Shadow Electivire and Shadow Raikou a lot. However, I definitely see them being played, and you can use them as well. But as I said, as far as Season 4 goes, very rare. I think I've seen once on social media someone use Electivire, but other than that, didn't see much of them at all. And that's the overview for rankings. You can expect to see these rankings not change anytime soon. The reason being is because you'll still see fighters. Scrafty was definitely very powerful, Toxicroak, etc. Flyers, you'll see Mud Boys. So the meta you see now will probably stay the same unless something major changes at the end of the week, as in new Pokemon are released. So far, we don't have any word saying that new Pokemon will come out and we'll see a whole new generation pop or anything from the current gen will be all like Jellicent and anything else will be released. So just keep that in mind. There's still a lot of things that can happen, but for the foreseeable future, it doesn't seem like there's going to be anything new until next season. That's always subject to change, though. Now, your favorite Go Battle League known issues page. Probably the one thing that everyone just... yeah. Last updated September 24th, yet problems on this list have been here since the beginning of since the beginning of Season 4. Even from Season 3, if you've noticed in the last week of Season 3, you saw a huge amount of lag and just so much issues. I don't think they'll ever get it fixed, to be honest with you. Well, they might fix it, but in my opinion, it'll be too late. Like, I think I've already had so many friends, like, quit Pokemon Go PvP just because it's so bad. Why would you play a broken game, right? Unfortunately, I can't tell you. It doesn't look like there's going to be any... There's going to be very minimal fixes, and even if they're fixed, we can only expect things to be broken again, sadly. So, as you see here, increased latency, Go Battle League. Apparently, this was resolved in the newer version, 87.2. But I've still heard reports from friends, and especially on Twitter, that it hasn't been fixed yet. There's still issues. Increased lag in Go Battle League for 3 weeks. So you're telling me from Season 3 up until now, when you released it from iOS 14, it's still broken. Still broken, unfortunately. Charge attacks fired at the same time allow first to switch Pokemon. So when you can't, this is called sack switching, which is one of the most advanced techniques in the game, arguably the most advanced because it requires precision timing, prediction, and just godly sense counting, etc. In other words, when you fire charge moves, you can't switch at the same time. So sacking and catching is still broke. It has been broken. It says it's resolved. That's a lie. I tried to sack before. It says it's resolved. That's a lie. I've tried to sack switch before just recently with this new update rolling out, and it still just doesn't work. Unfortunately. So it's just, I don't know what's going on. And the big reason with that is because switching is slowed. Because switching is slowed, there's a delay when you switch. If you've noticed it, you switch very slowly, and because you switch really slowly, that one turn you switch, it's still not fixed until they fix that slow switch or the latency or whatever is actually wrong with it. You can't sack effective. You can still sack, but like sacking and catching is still broke. It's still really bad. So delay after charge attack, it says it's resolved in 185. That's a lie. There's still a delay in charged attacks. If you've noticed, because it might be due to lag, but this is still broken. If you've noticed and you try to fire charge moves, you'll notice a second of delay. They won't fire right away. It's still there. This is a lie. Fast attacks are so intended in trainer battles on Android devices. I think this has been fixed. I still hear reports of it still being broken, so I can't tell you if it is, but apparently it still is. Go Valley and Ring, yeah, I don't know why that's cosmetically been broken. I don't know. Charge attack doesn't work when tapped. Occasionally when the charge work does, yeah, this is probably the big one too. Occasionally when charge will not work when tapped, then charge work will not fire immediately. This is basically this one, the delay after charge attack. I read that wrong. So this is fixed. The delay's fixed. This is the issue I'm talking about. It won't work when it tapped. Unfortunately, this is still off. So when you try to fire your charge move, there'll be a delay. And sometimes it's so bad that when you're trying to like fire something immediately, it will just be a huge problem. And this is definitely a big issue here. That, and another one I've noticed is this one. Charge attack and switch buttons disappear. That's been reported multiple times how that's disappeared. Actually, that's been happening for a while now. So these two, this has been happening for a while. This as well. So these two, yes. These two are bad. This is probably the most serious one. Wins are not properly counted. Occasionally wins that go battling are not counted and set to unrecorded in journal. This is a big issue. I believe this has been happening since Season 3, the beginning of this has been happening for a very long time. Still not fixed. So 2 months and you still can't fix this. Animation of Pokemon of trainer throwing ball repeatedly. That's been happening since like Season 2, I think? I have no idea. Trainers are unable to switch Pokemon on the same turn that they use a fast attack. I think this is the issue right here. Trainers are unable to switch as a fast attack if you use a charge attack on the same turn. So this is where sack switching is broken. So if you try to switch it, yeah, this is where it gets really complicated. I think this is the issue right here. Trainers are unable to switch. This is where sacking is broken. Trainers are unable to switch their Pokemon on the same turn as a fast attack if their opponent uses it on the same turn. So basically, that means if you try to switch on the same turn as your opponent's charge attack, it doesn't work. So this is why sacking is still broken. If you have to do it a move before, and that's so hard to do because you have to account the time that your opponent tries to throw the move, your prediction, and that same turn. So it's just really bad. Post win screen does not have any buttons to continue battle. Yeah, yeah. So let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 bugs. Some of them have been here for a very long time. And it's just, I can't tell you. Since it's been going on for a while. I wish I could tell you. I honestly wish as a creator, as someone that's been streaming Twitch since Go Battle League first started. Literally since it first started. I can't tell you when it's going to be fixed. Unfortunately, with what's been going on lately, even if they do fix it, it's probably not going... Even if they do fix it, you can expect something to break either later down the road or just... Like, if they try to fix it, it's just going to break. There's no consistency, which is the giant problem with Niantic and just Go Battle League in general. It's not fixed enough and it's not authentic enough to be a competitive platform. And that's all on Niantic, unfortunately. Niantic shows they care, but I don't think I've seen any major game that makes this much money or this competitive that has been this broken for so long. And not just like server issues, just gameplay issues where your basic function doesn't work. I don't think we've had a smooth Go Battle League game since like Season 1 or like the preseason. I think the preseason everything was okay. Like most of everything was okay. After the preseason, but everything just like stopped working. It was just really broken. All right, let the battle begin. All right, so here's a few shoutcasts. I'm gonna shoutcast some of my sickest plays with my Shadow Shiftery, Deoxys defense, and my G-Fist team. We get Swampert into my Shadow Shiftery. I switch it to DD, and I see a Toxicroak, and I'm like, oh, baby, I'm about to hit my triple Psycho Boost. Whenever I get locked into a Toxicroak or a Haunter, I immediately go for Psycho Boost. But with Toxicroak, you can pull off this really sweet and awesome triple Psycho Boost play. Now, this has to be done precisely so that you can fire all three. 1, 2, at this point, I could fire 2. I'll fire 2 Psycho Boosts. My opponent will have either 4 counters before they fire a Mud Bomb. We fire 1, we fire 2. This is going to prompt my opponent to shield. So they're going to take their second one. And then, even though it's debuffed to -4 attack, Psycho Boost will yeet this Toxicroak into the next dimension. Bye, Felicia. GG's. And then we get the Swampert back. At this point, all I have to do is just realign correctly, and I'm about to obliterate this poor bunny and the subsequent Mud Boy in the back to the next century of BBMLness. Actually, it's not really BBML, but like I just see Swampert and Azu, bye-bye, my opponent rage quits, GG's. So you got absolutely someone just got absolutely destroyed and murdered and bodied. I'm sorry. You're yeah. Bye bye. So here's the second match. I think this a pseudo fighter? Yeah, it is. We get the Goon. Goon is a really popular lead. Well, not really popular, but it's pretty common. I see a lot of Goons sometimes. So I switch into DD, get a bunch of energy. They switch in their Space Moon Duck, and Space Moon Duck is about I hate Space Moon Duck. Space Moon Duck resists my counters, but I'm just buried under a bunch of rocks, and we're just going to go to town. And you're going to see probably one of the longest matches because it's going to take forever for my opponent to decide to fire a freaking Moonblast. Or Grass, not me. I ain't shielded anything. I think they shielded that one. That's why, or that was just a visual glitch. I think they did shield it. And I get Moonblasted. As I said, I'm not shielding anything. I just sack DD. A lot of times when I use Deoxys defense, I'll just sack it, especially if I like win lead or if I have to realign with Shiftry. That's why I always gather energy. I try to switch out of this matchup here just to get a little more energy. That's all right. So I'm going to switch into my Shiftry, and I'm going to gather a bunch of energy. So I thought I predicted, I'm like, he's probably not going to switch out, but if I get energy lead on that Obstagoon, you have no shields. Or better yet, if I could take a shield. And I do. So I take the last shield. I have 2 shields. I'm about to go to town. I farm down. And now you're going down. So this Obstagoon is just about to get annihilated. And I don't know what's in the back, but you're probably is it Azu? It's Azu. Bye, Felicia. So since it's Azu, this lead play is gonna go off. I can expect a rage quit because it's game over. GG's to my opponent. But they don't quit. Instead, they elect to take in. Oh, they quit before I get the last leaf blade off, and that's okay. That's GG's. As you see, this team is just really strong. Even if I lose the lead, I have plays, I have strats. I can come back from the win. And how would I end this shoutcast without showing you some Season 3 former rank 10 running a Bastiodon Shadow Vic line. Whoopee. So we get Bastiodon. So what I'll do is I'll Q Leaf Blade always, and then I'll throw my DD in. This usually prompts them to switch too. Or, yeah, or they just stay in, try to fire off a move. Whenever you face Grasshole lines or Bastiodon lead lines, you can decide to shield or not. I don't elect to. I get a DD, so like I was like, okay, so this is probably Bastiodon, DD, Grasshole to the back. And, yeah. I don't know. This Grasshole line, or Bastiodon / Shadow Vic in the lead line or in the closer has been so popular. I have no idea. Like, it's so popular, it's disgusting. The fact that you make rank 10 using this team, just really, yeah. Why would you encourage other players to get better when they can run this team and just make it to rank 10 that way? So, unfortunately, we don't get that. Unfortunately, like, I don't win switch here. I win switch here, which doesn't really matter because he's up a shield. And there is our best friend, the pair. Here it is, Season 3 rank 10 using the Grasshole team. How skilled, how populated. You have so earned the title of rank 10. No, seriously, it's really sad that players have made it to rank 10 using this team. And I think what's even sadder is this guy can't count. So, because I'm going to beat the shield. Yep, I get the shield. So, because I got both shields with my Shiftry, even though there wasn't really a good chance of me making it there, I will win this match. Because all I have to do is get a Rock Slide in, and I'll outpace that Bastiodon to an I'll be able to Earthquake down the Bastiodon. So, this is GG's. Don't understand why people... Well, yeah. This team has been pretty much ostracized, and if you run it, if you're saving time, I understand. If you're not saving time, then you don't have an excuse. Don't use this team. Please don't. It's not good. You either win hard or lose hard. That's how that team works. Win hard, lose hard, GG's. Not really. Bye. Yeah, bye.